I found my husband's spare apartment key in our daughter's diaper bag the morning, after I was standing on the kitchen floor in my socks, holding a tiny silver key between my fingers, when my husband asked me why I looked like I'd seen a ghost. It was 6:12 in the morning, the day after Christmas. Our 2-year-old was still asleep upstairs, surrounded by torn wrapping paper and stuffed animals. I'd been digging through her diaper bag looking for the rash cream because she'd woken up crying during the night. The key was tucked into the side pocket where I usually kept wipes. At first, I assumed it belonged to my sister. She'd borrowed the diaper bag the week before when she took our daughter to the park. But when I turned the plastic tag over, there was a faded number written in black marker, 3B. My husband Eric went pale the second he saw it. He said, "Where did you get that?" I asked him what had opened. He sat down at the kitchen table and rubbed both hands over his face. I remember the coffee maker sputtering in the background and the little blinking light on the microwave. 6:13. He told me it was for an apartment, not ours. He said he'd rented it 8 months earlier, to have space. That was the phrase he kept using, space. We lived in a 3-bedroom house in Columbus. I worked from home doing medical billing. He was a regional sales manager and traveled 2 or 3 nights a month. We had separate bathrooms and more closet space than either of us used. I didn't understand what kind of space he meant. Then he admitted he hadn't been alone there. There was a woman from his office. Her name was Tessa. She was 29, newly divorced, and easy to talk to. I hate that I remember that part word for word. I asked if he loved her. He stared at the table and said, "I don't know." That hurt more than if he'd said yes. He told me it started as lunches, then drinks after work, then the apartment. He said he kept meaning to end it. He said he never wanted to leave me. He said he loved our daughter and didn't want to break our family. I asked why the key was in the diaper bag. That was when he started crying. He said he'd taken our daughter to the zoo the previous Saturday. Tessa met them there. Afterward, they all went to the apartment for an hour. He used the diaper bag to carry snacks and must have dropped the key inside. I actually felt sick. I ran to the sink and threw up Christmas ham and coffee. The worst part wasn't even the affair. It was the image of another woman helping my daughter take off her shoes in some apartment I didn't know existed. For weeks, I moved through the house like a guest. I washed bottles, answered emails, and pretended my chest didn't feel hollow. Eric ended things with Tessa immediately and started sleeping in the basement. He begged for counseling. He wrote me letters. He deleted social media and shared his location. Sometimes I caught him watching me with this desperate, hopeful expression that made me angry. I wanted to scream that transparency wasn't the same as trust. In February, I drove to the apartment alone. It was already empty. Beige carpet, cheap blinds, one dent in the wall. The closet smelled faintly like his cologne. I sat on the floor and cried harder than I had on Christmas morning. In March, I asked him to move out. He didn't argue. He packed 2 duffel bags and kissed our daughter while she colored at the coffee table. She asked if Daddy was going on a work trip. He said, something like that. We share custody now. He rents a 1-bedroom across town. He sees our daughter every Wednesday and every other weekend. He still asks if there's any chance for us. I always tell him I don't know. Some nights after our daughter is asleep, I miss the man I thought I married. I miss our routines, our inside jokes, the way he warmed up my car when it snowed. But I can't stop seeing that key in my hand. So small, so ordinary, and heavy enough to unlock everything I was trying not to see.